one other thing I want to mention, because I was told to mention, is this website that has been created for poor people that can't get to conventions because they live out in Montana or places where they're too far away to get to cons and have this kind of fun experience with other anime fans. So a handful of voice actors have created a website called con.com. CONDOTCOM.com. And I know it's kind of confusing. When they told me the name, I was like, really? You're going to lose a lot of people. They're not going to figure that out. But they created what is basically, it's essentially an online convention experience.
Oh,
and
wow.
A lot of really cool things, and a lot of voice actors are involved in it. But one thing that's special that I wanted to tell you about was there's a whole section where you can get custom ringtones from characters that you might like. So if you ever thought it might be fun when somebody calls you for your phone to ring and it's Edward doing a short rant about how he can't reach the phone because it's on the counter, or or Tamaki, or Dark, or Ikuku from Bleach, or Broly from Dragon Ball Z screaming at you. Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that? But anyway, those are available at con.com.org.net. And if you'd like to check those out, please do. All right, now let's just talk. I know a lot of people want to know what I'm working on right now. Somebody's probably going to say, "What are you doing right now?" I'm talking to you. No, what I'm working on right now is. Of course, Full Metal Brotherhood, and I'm very excited about that. We're having so much fun. It's so neat to see these characters in new settings, with new storylines and new characters coming in, Ling, and all of the cool twists and turns. I'm having a blast. Also, any Vampire Knight fans in the I'm very excited about playing Zero and his brother. Ichiru, playing both the twins, and I'm having so much fun. It is a lot of fun. I was surprised to know that the guy that voiced Tamaki also voiced Zero. I didn't find that out until halfway through the series. But sweet! Now, I love him. Mamoru, right? And there's a new show premiering next week on Cartoon Network, on Adult Swim, called Kakashi. Now, you may not know much about it, and I'm not allowed to tell you much about it. But suffice it to say, just between you and me as friends, I really hope you watch it. That's all I can say. It's a really fun show. I didn't even say I was in it, did I? Never said that?
No.
Did I say that?
No.
You gotta back me up here so I don't get in trouble. I didn't say that, did I?
No.
I just said you should watch it. It's gonna be fun. So do that and be kind. And I'm working on several new things as well that I'm not supposed to talk about. You know how that goes. But let's see. Is there anything else?
Vic, Phase 2.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Benny. Next week, I am going to fulfill a lifelong childhood dream yet again. When I was your age, I didn't know what anime was, but I had my own particular obsession, and it's called Star Trek. OMG. I'm not kidding you, how old are you? 16. When I was 14, 13, 12, any 12-year-olds here? Where's Honey? Jared, how old are you? I'm just kidding. Oh, he had to leave. That's right, he did say, his mom said they were going to have to leave. I'm glad they were here for a minute. Anyway, when I was a little kid, I would make my own Star Trek costumes, and my mom would take me to Star Trek conventions, and I would go and meet George Takei, who played Sulu, and Dr. McCoy, DeForest Kelly, and Jimmy Doohan, who played Scotty. It was like, and I would make little Star Trek movies, and memorize entire episodes, and get my friends in the neighborhood involved. I loved Star Trek. In fact, if any of you may know, there are conventions where I've been actually holding trivia challenge panels where the fans try to stump me, and they don't stump me very often because, like a lot of you and your particular interests, I memorized entire episodes of the original series. So, okay, suffice it to say, that is something that I love. Well, a couple of years ago, I became familiar with an online web series called Star Trek New Voyages. And these were a bunch of guys, just like me, nerds, who, when they were kids, loved Star Trek, and now as adults and professionals in their fields, they wanted to make Star Trek. They're sound designers, camera guy, I heard that. I love it. They're professionals in their fields, and maybe they're not. Maybe they're computer analysts, but they always wanted to play Star Trek. So now, as adults, they've got the financial means to do so. So a handful of these people have started making episodes as a continuation of the original series. And you guys, let me tell you something. They have rebuilt all of the sets. And I'm not talking about cardboard here. I'm talking about spot-on, perfect bridge, transporter room, sick bay, briefing room. It's amazing. I went up there 2 years ago for the first time, and when I walked through the turbo lift doors onto the bridge, and I walked down around and sat down in the captain's chair, I'm like, it was like a childhood dream, you know? I never imagined. You know what I mean? It was something that was off in the stratosphere somewhere, and you would never go there or see it. So there you guys are. Welcome back. I was talking about you. Did you? Honey, go eat some cake. So anyway, I got to play a small role 2 years ago in one of their episodes and became buddies with the crew, and they found out I was as big a nerd as they were. And so the next year, last June, I not only got to play this Klingon bad guy, but I also directed the episode. And then this June, in a week, I will be going back there because we're shooting another episode. I'm not directing it, but I'm playing a role that I'm very excited about. The episode is a flashback. It takes place when Kirk was still a cadet in the academy. It's before he was the captain. So we've got this younger guy playing Kirk, and so all takes place before he was the captain. Now, any Star Trek fans here know who was the captain of the Enterprise before Kirk? Captain Pike. Thank you, Benny. The man. Captain Pike. So we've got a guy playing Captain Pike, and the bridge has been refitted to look like the bridge did before Kirk's time. And guess who I get to play? No, not Captain Pike. I don't want to play Captain Pike because guess who's in the episode? Captain Kirk's father, George Kirk. So, since my personal dream was always to play Captain Kirk, and that's probably never going to happen, getting to play his father is going to be so much fun. So I'm very excited. And I'm jazzed, like if somebody were to ask you to, hey, do you want to come voice Yuki in Vampire Night, or, whatever. So I'm very jazzed about that. And I'm just a big geek like you, and that gets me going.
What a crime, such a beautiful crime, that God would make a star as bright as I. And I know it's a disgrace to admire this perfect face.